Oseo. That's the Cherokee greeting. Let's start right off with a poem reading of Mary Oliver. I have sharpened my claws. I have put on the heavy apron. Maybe you think life is chicken soup served in blue willow pattern bowls. I have put on my boots and opened the kitchen door and stepped out into the sunshine. I have crossed the lawn. I have entered the hen house. And so with that, I enter my theme today. It is cat, Neko, in Japan. And to start off with really a true story, here in Coyote's Creation Lodge, we live with 4 felines. That's cats. And the oldest one, Pumpkin, is 19. And about a couple of weeks ago or so, he started looking like he was about ready to leave. He looked so bad, that even we made an appointment for him at the Humane Society for his, leaving this existence. But he seems to be making a sort of a recovery, and in that recovery, I had brought this Japanese Neko here. As if you watched my talk last week, you saw this little fellow down here. And Pumpkin, he has all week, he's been laying down here in front of it like the blue cat. He's been curled up around it. He has put his whole body through under the table with his tail on one side and his head the other side, or he's curled up alongside of it. So all of this, that as a prayer activates the saint. Now we have the cat who is activating my display of Neko, the cat. And that's the way that we're starting here. If you can catch this on the camera here, what I have, this is the Japanese kana character that is going to figure for the character in cat. However, the word Neko is a little bit confusing because it doesn't exactly say Neko. But this is the character, a box with a cross in it, that would be the character for Omo. And the character, these strokes beneath it, is Kokoru. So altogether, this is a heart-mind character. There's really 2 characters posing as one. That would be for mind, or spirit, or heart. And either one of them could stand independent of that. The 2 strokes alongside of it then actually is making the vowel I. So it's omoi. And that's very interesting. Omoi, written this way, it means idea, thought, love, sentiment. And then there's others that go on writing with this character. Omo is to think, feel, or intend. And that's what changes this character is the verb. It changes it to that. Then omoide is memory, or omoidiyasu, to call to mind or remember. And we put this next to it. So that's the way that it changes. And on with other, omidori, satisfaction, omoigakaneya, unexpected, suddenly, omokiri, to one's heart's content, omoyari, empathy. And all of these are the senses. There are a few others that to me really renders Neko in a more thorough way of what we mean of this creature and this divinity that the cat. So here are some things about this cat from Japan. What do cats symbolize in Japan? In Japan, cats are revered for giving good luck and other positive results. The popular Japanese cat figurine, Maneki Neko, that's what this is typically believed to bring such blessings. It means the beckoning cat. There are even some figures where his paw is actually waving it like this. And you usually find these, in front of stores or inside of Japanese businesses, saying he's asking customers to come in. Nekomata is the name now for this. Nekomata, and then these characters here are kind of cat yokai described in the Chinese and Japanese folklore and essays and so forth. And some of these cats live in the mountains, and some of them live with people where they get old and they transform. Why is Japan obsessed with cats? Why the obsession? In Japanese folklore, cats have protective powers and symbolize good fortune. So that's why people keep them. And in fact, let's see, where did I see that? Why are there so many cats in Japan? It's become known as Cat Island due to the large stray cat population that thrives as a result of the local belief that feeding cats will bring wealth and good fortune. The cat population is now larger than the human population on the island of Japan. So there are no pet dogs due to the large cat population. The Bakaneko, if I'm saying that right, is called the change cat. He is a type of Japanese yokai, a supernatural creature. And also there's a Bakaneko that are also ghost cats, and they have all kind of supernatural powers. Yokai is a class of supernatural spirits and demons in Japanese folklore. Is there a cat demon? This one will get you. The demon cat, also referred to as DC, is the name given to the ghost of a cat which is purported to haunt the government buildings of Washington, D.C. in the United States. Anybody wonder why that is? Here on the memory of bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki last week. Well, that pretty much gives a good idea of that, of Neko there. And here, this is now a neat little card that is titled, the Cat Queen, we would say that. Really, very neat. And over here, this is a Mitami Kami is like the cat goddess. In Egypt she would be Basset. So she's the goddess of cats. We put it in that language. What's interesting to me also is the earliest Shinto sculptures of these deities goes back about 1400 years ago. And this is definitely a descendant that has evolved from the very early ones, which they still have examples of, especially the heavy hair headdress, if I can put it that way, and all carved from one block of wood. So that's a very interesting piece to me, as actually seen as it is modernly a sculpture of a kami deity. And here we have talked about these, and all the way down here you can see each of these cats in that way. Now to finish this off, I have another poem here by Mary Oliver, and it's called The Catbird. He picks his pond and the soft thicket of his world. He bids his lady come, and she does, flirting with her tail. He begins early and makes up his song as he goes. He does not enter a house at night or when it rains. He is not afraid of the wind, though he is cautious. He watches the snake, that stripe of black fire, until it flows away. He watches the hawk with her sharper shins aloft in the high tree. He keeps his prayer under his tongue. In his whole life, he has never missed the rising of the sun. He dislikes snow, but a few raisins give him the greatest delight. He sits in the forelock of the lilac, or he struts in its shadow. He is neither the rare plover or the brilliant bunting, but as common as grass. His black cap gives him a jaunty look, for which we humans have learned to tilt our caps in envy. When he's not singing, he's listening. Neither have I ever seen him with his eyes closed, though he may be looking at nothing more than a cloud. It brings to his mind a several dozen new remarks. From one branch to another, or across the path, he dazzles with flight. Since I see him every morning, I have rewarded myself the pleasure of thinking that he knows me. Yet, never once has he answered my nod. He seems, in fact, to find in me a kind of humor. I am so vast, uncertain, and strange. I am the one who comes and goes, and who knows why. Will I ever understand him? Certainly, he will never understand me, or the world I come from. For he will never sing for the kingdom of dollars. For he will never grow pockets in his gray wings. Thank you.